Hi, Rich Carrubba for bowlingball.com. Here's a good topic to talk about for everybody, for all bowlers, and that is how to select the right wrist support. I'm a big advocate of wrist support devices for those of you who have a little trouble controlling your release or want to increase your power or regulate the moment you release the ball better. If you see yourself lofting the ball one time and dropping behind the foul line and so on, a wrist support device can function in two ways. It can be a training aid when you practice, and you could use it in competition. And many bowlers are successful using wrist support devices because they experiment with them, and the different types allow you the range, for example, of tilting your wrist forward, keeping your wrist straight, or tilting your wrist back. All that does is regulate the moment the thumb is released from the ball relative to your bowling fingers. And if your wrist is tilted back, then the fingers are going to exit sometime approximately the same time as your fingers, and that's going to produce the longest possible skid. If your wrist stays straight, then your thumb exits the ball slightly before your fingers, and because of that, the weight falls onto your fingers and can impart an effective roll on the bowling ball. And finally, if you tilt your wrist forward, we call it cupping the wrist, then your thumb's going to go out very quickly. The weight will be supported on your bowling fingers, and as you release the ball, and the fingers can give a very swift, decisive releasing action, that's when you get the maximum amount of rev rate and the maximum amount of power in that type of release. So you can get adjustable wrist support devices, or you can get ones that keep your wrist straight for all purpose. Recommend that for you up the boards players, you strokers, in between players, and so on. But the versatility of a wrist support device is very important. Coaches always bring them to the lanes with them typically to help bowlers, particularly bowlers who are trying to learn the game a little better and improve their release, to help get that feel of when the thumb should exit the ball consistently. So you can get the ball over the foul line slightly at an effective angle into the lane and get a feel of when to release the ball relative to your sliding foot. So I hope some of these tips help you. I hope you consider working with a wrist support device. If you have any questions, check your coach, check with your pro shop operator. And while you're here today at bowlingball.com, take some time to look around at our wonderful menu of products. If you find something you like, follow the easy-to-order online instructions. Our store is always open. And thank you for visiting bowlingball.com.